What's going on, YouTubers? It is your boy, Dalyxman. Every Wednesday, I will be answering your questions here on Dalyxman's Q&A Corner. If you have a question you want me to answer, please leave it on my Ask FM page. The link to it is down below in the description box and also here on the screen. So with that said, let's get to the video. Thoughts on Legacy in 2009, the stable involving Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and Ted DiBiase. You know what? I liked it. I do feel like they could have done more with it. You know, it was one of those stables that had a good idea. You know, it's pretty much third generation, second generation, fourth generation superstars coming together to make a name for themselves. I thought that could have really been something special. It's just, after a while, the people working under Randy Orton, who was the leader, just became his lackeys and his lapdogs. They never really got off the ground with it, and it never really got a chance to be established as something big in the WWE. I mean, DX really, and I mean really, helped out Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes. But after that feud, they never really did anything else with them. So it just died a sudden death. And didn't someone's son, was it Haku's son? I forgot his name. Well, he was in it too. You know, they could have really brought in Tamina and the Usos if the group was still around and really made it something. You know what I'm saying? Do you see the potential this stable had to really grow and be something? It just never became anything big, and that just falls on WWE not wanting to do anything with it. And to be fair, this was around the time they started the whole special guest host stuff on Raw, and I think that, oh my god, that pretty much hurt it from the get-go. So yeah, a good stable that could have been something but really wasn't. That is my opinion on that. What do you think of Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg's match at WrestleMania 20? Oh god. Well, if I've said it before, I've said it a million times. It's a match that could have been a WrestleMania classic, but because of, you know, personality issues between Brock Lesnar and Goldberg themselves, both of them were leaving. Both were mentally done with wrestling. They wanted out. They were sick of it, and it showed through this match. Performance-wise, it was slow. It was clunky, and it was so phoned in, and it was lifeless. And the crowd let them know how they felt about this match. They crapped all over it. Two of the most dominant wrestlers in the history of wrestling should have had a really awesome big man match, or a big muscled brawl, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it a big man match. I don't know what else to call it. But what we got was one of the worst matches in WrestleMania history, and it's a shame. Luckily for Brock Lesnar, it's not what he's known for anymore. He came back and, you know, defeated the streak and dominated John Cena in such a fashion that it practically made him the top babyface of the company. But yeah, it was a disaster. A match that could have been a WrestleMania classic just ended up being something much worse. So that's my opinion on that. Is it safe to assume, no matter how good the Bellas match is, the highest praise you'll give it is meh? Okay, guys, listen. I will give credit where credit is due. Brie Bella had a really good feud with Stephanie McMahon this year. Guess what I said during that time? Brie Bella is impressing me. Brie Bella is awesome. Brie Bella is actually making me invest in her match, and I hope she beats Stephanie McMahon. I said that. Some of you don't want to remember that because you're mad at me right now for not giving them credit for having okay matches. Let's be real, okay? So they go out there and they're not sticking up the joint. Wonderful. I'm sorry, for someone like me who watched Charlotte versus Natalya, Paige versus AJ from SummerSlam, and I'll give you credit on, you know, well, Paige and AJ haven't had the best feud this year, and they haven't. True. But it's much better than what the Bellas had put on TV. You had to give that credit. Alright? Again, I'm willing to give the Bellas credit where credit is due. If they have a good match, I'll say it was a good match. Unfortunately, their program has been a disaster. Anyone out there that wants to tell me that their program has been fantastic, you're out of your damn mind. I'm sorry, it's not going to be like that. And I don't care how big of a Bella fan you are. You have to admit, the stuff they've been doing with each other, it's been bad. It's been terrible. Brie, ever since she left Stephanie, has done some of her worst work with Nikki. Is Nikki terrible? No. Is she better than Brie in some aspects? Sure. Personality-wise, I'll give you that. In-ring-wise, no. Brie's better than her. Absolutely. But to this question, to this guy who asked me this, what do you want me to say? It's okay. You know, it was not the best match ever, but they tried. What? Who do you think I am? Have you not been watching me? Have you not been tuning into my videos? Do you know who Dalyxman is? I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. If it's bad, I'm going to say it's bad. If it's good, I'm going to say it's good. If the Bellas go to Hell in a Cell and have a good match, I will say it's a good match. Will I say personally I don't care about it? Sure. I will show you. I will tell you the flaws in my judgment before I tell you it. You know? And if I don't say it, if someone points it out, I'll agree with it. Don't try to make me out to be some hypocrite that hates wrestling or just hates the Divas, because I love the Divas. And I will give Brie and Nikki credit when it's due. As of lately, they don't deserve any credit because they've been involved in a terrible program. So deal with it. Sorry, you know, that was an instance where I have to be that type of guy, because when people try to make me out to be some unfair a-hole, you're not being fair yourselves. If they have a good match at Hell in a Cell, I will say it was a good match. Period. Moving on. How would you react if you saw Schlag Daddy from, you know, OTRS Central as a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble match? I'd laugh. Because he would have the shortest... he would probably have a shorter in-ring time than Santino Marella. As soon as he gets inside the ring, boom, thanks for coming, Schlag Daddy. But he would make it so freaking awesome and so freaking hilarious. I would be all over it. That's too funny. But that's my answer to your question. What if the Bunny, oh god, or Adam Rose won the 2015 Royal Rumble with no build-up? The WWE would surely go out of business. You know, I don't think they have enough room for error to do something that stupid. Seriously. What do you think of a match between the Dudley Boys and the Wyatt family? I would love to see it. Hell yeah, I would love to see that match. That sounds awesome. Unfortunately, it won't happen if the Wyatt family breaks up, so yeah, sorry. Would you like to see the Hardy Boys versus the Usos? Yes. I would love to see that match. Is this from the same person? Probably. Whatever, dude. I would love to see both of the matches. You know, Dudley Boys and the Wyatt family. Hardys versus the Usos. Both of them sound like great tag team matches. I think eventually the Hardy Boys will return to WWE, and we might, in fact, get Usos versus the Hardys more than the Wyatts versus the Dudleys, unfortunately. But thank you for those questions. Your thoughts on The Rock's return in 2001, and how did you react? My reaction was so ridiculous, was so crazy, that I actually deleted the video. But I was blown away when The Rock returned. I loved it. It was awesome. It was one of those moments that made me realize, man, wrestling used to be so awesome. I'm happy you came back, Rock. Now, in hindsight, because the next question is, what if The Rock never returned? And who would be John Cena's replacement to fight him at WrestleMania 28 and WrestleMania 29? Honestly, if The Rock did not return, we most likely would have gotten Cena versus Orton twice. As ridiculous as that is to say, there is some truth behind that. Think about it, guys. Really think about it. Eventually, if The Rock did not return, we would have seen Orton versus Cena at either WrestleMania 28 or WrestleMania 29. So, as much as I like to say these matches wasn't the best matches to have at WrestleMania, I'm kind of glad we got it because we could have gotten something much, much worse. So that's my answer to that. Have I ever been arrested? No. And I don't plan on being arrested. What if Hell in a Cell this Sunday goes off the air with John Cena's hand being raised in victory? What will Good Mike Works BS excuse be? Okay, obviously you're someone from the Facebook chat we had. Guys, here's the thing. Me and Good Mike Work, if you don't know him, you should, had a discussion on Facebook. And he apparently is absolutely fine with Cena and Orton main eventing Hell in a Cell. I am not. I'm still adamant about the new guys, Rollins and Ambrose, getting a shot to main event the show and WWE creating new stars, as usual. Or at least 2 new main eventers. You know what I'm saying? But we had a back and forth, and Good Mike Worth's logic is, hey, you know what? It's taking a step back, but as long as we get Orton versus Lesnar, I'm fine with it. That's his logic. Meaning, if Cena does win, I'm pretty sure he would rant on that. So, again, it's someone who wants to start some crap between me and Good Mike Work. I have no issues with people who feel like Cena and Orton should main event the show. My thing is, don't be mad if Cena wins. That's my thing. If Cena wins, you wanted this main event. You wanted the show to close off. If we would have ended the show with Seth Rollins and Ambrose, if we do end the show with Seth Rollins and Ambrose, it won't matter if Orton wins or if Cena wins. If we, have Orton and Cena go before Rollins and Ambrose, and Orton wins, everybody's still happy. Why not just do that? Why do we have to close the show with Orton and Cena when obviously they're going to have a subpar match? Or at least a match that's not as good as Ambrose and Rollins would. But we're going to end the show with that, with a high % chance of Cena walking out the victor. Sorry, not something I agree with, and I won't agree with it. But thank you for that question. Have you ever thought of making another channel talking about video games and movies? Yes, I have. The reason why I haven't actually done that channel is because I don't have time. If I ever get sick of wrestling, maybe, just maybe, I'll do it with this channel because it's already established. You know what I'm saying? Okay, thank you for that question. Did you know Beth Phoenix and Edge are married and have a child? Really? Yeah, I already knew that. Yeah, I knew it a long time ago, actually. And I hope they have a great life with each other. I think Beth Phoenix is one of the best female wrestlers we've seen in WWE in a very long time. And she understands the business. She's very smart to wrestling. What do you think of Kozlov? Vladimir Kozlov. He's alright. I don't really care about him all that much. Do you think Kozlov and Rusev would be a good tag team? Alright. That sounds interesting. We could make that work, maybe. Let's see. I will go with good. I'll go with good because it sounds good on paper. Are you looking forward to seeing the official trailer for the Avengers Age of Ultron next week? Hell yes. I think... Oh, man. This movie's going to be awesome. Those of you who are a fan of the Marvel's live-action movie series, like I am, anything they do as of lately is just gold. So, you're absolutely right. I'm looking forward to this. Okay, last question. Let me get one more question here. Is Brie Bella a hippie? No, I don't think she is. Is Good Mike Work a Cena apologist? No, he's not a Cena apologist. Get off his butt, guys. Seriously. And what do you predict next for the Wyatt family? I hope all 3 of them will have a good career. Unfortunately, Eric Rowan's career is about up. With that said, as I move the sun out of my face, I'm going to end it here. Thank you for asking your questions. I will get to, hopefully, the next questions in the next video next week. With that said, your boy Dalyxman signing off. Peace.